Luisa's So Zoom In, I have today Saeed Badreya. He is an Egyptian American actor, writer, producer, I'd say all around awesome person who actually advocates for human rights also. And I have to admit, that is what excited me the most about you, is that not only do you pursue your passion of acting and creating, but you also care about other people too. So thank you very much to my show. It is a pleasure meeting you. How are you today?
Life is good. We look like we're going to be back soon. So the industry is starting to open up, and thank God.
Well, good. Well, you have a film that's just coming out, Dandelion Season, correct? Is that coming out this summer, I believe? Or
I think so. In the end, maybe September. I'm not sure. It's coming out, but there is a movie with Jackie Chan is playing right now called Vanguard. We shot it in India, and I was a nice guy playing with Jackie Chan, so it was fun to play and to travel with Jackie, China, and India.
Did you get to do any martial arts yourself?
No, I was a nice guy in the movie, so I didn't have to fight. Because we always lose if I fight with Jackie Chan. So I decided not to.
Smart. Well, I have to say you were an Iron Man, and of all the Marvel movies, that's probably one of my favorites. Can I ask, and this is going to sound silly, what was it like working on a Marvel movie? Something that's seen all over the world.
It was the first Marvel movie, Iron Man 1. And Robert just came from staying for a long time, not acting. And I was lucky because the shoot was in the cave. We built it inside the hangar in Hughes hangar in Los Angeles. So it was the boys working together. It wasn't any movie star except Robert, and that time he was playing with us. So it was magnificent because I choose the language, I choose my dialogue, I did my thing, and there is a secret about that. I die in the middle of the movie. And they came back and I said, no, we're going to take off that scene, you die, and we're going to add 3 more scenes. So I was lucky to have more scene in the end. And it was great experience all around. I enjoyed it very much.
That sounds so exciting. I have to ask, what inspired you to pursue acting?
Well, I'm product of peace and war. I grew up in the war zone in a ghetto on Mediterranean Sea and Suez Canal, a city called Port Said. And during that time, my dad was dead, was already passed away, and my mother had 9 kids, and we didn't have any end meat. So I had to start working when I was 9. And I made some money and I went to the movie, and the rest is history. I fell in love with the magic of America, and everybody was like, hey, buddy, we have a war here, we're fighting, and how can you think about going to America? I said, I'm going to America. I'm going to be part of the movie. And I was like, I had no shoes. I was like, very poor, but I had a big dream, and my mother allowed it. She allowed me to dream. So I pursued until the peace. Sadat made the peace with Israel, and this allowed me to have a visa to America. And I study cinema, and I study in NYU Film School. And I start to work with Anthony Perkin as assistant, James Cameron. Then I start to be part of cinema, and I direct, produce, and I did, documentary film about preserving and restoring Egyptian cinema. I spent a lot of money. I made a lot of money in movie, but I brought it back. I made short film about an Arab American actor sick and tired of playing terrorist. He hijacked the movie set to play the hero, me and Tony Shalhoub. So I had the voice and I want to be heard. So I used the cinema to tell my story.
That's the perfect vehicle to do that. And you also write, you do pretty much everything to create a story. And I think that's so beautiful because film is a universal art, a universal language. What are you working on right now?
Well, I'm working on with Peter Farley. He like a story I did in Egypt in 1954, and about a Jewish woman and an Egyptian policeman, and the story about its espionage. It's kind of story in the middle of chaos. And so that's what we writing right now, me and a good friend of mine, Ziad Hamza. He's a director. I met him in UMass Boston in 1980. So we have all this time, and now we're working together with Peter. Peter just keep an eye on the story and will be producer. So that's, kind of in the work. But I've been doing documentary. The year of COVID, I did 2 documentary. So I'm been working, and I've been, using a lot of time and life educate people about human trafficking in Egypt, about the Egyptian woman, 13 years old, Egyptian girl, 13 years old, marry 80 years old, someone from the Gulf, from Saudi Arabia. And after 3 months, he leave her and he go back after the summer, and here she is pregnant. So I wrote a kind of movie called What's About Her. It's I wrote the first part as short film. It's about this little small girl working in the household of billionaire, take care of his kid. And there is a financial whiz saw her, and she wear different clothes. So he recognized her as a servant, but is the same age of the girl of the billionaire. So he was like, everybody say, she make money to feed her family, the whole family with what she work. And his beef is, what about her child? They say, well, she's living the dream. She said, no, she's watching someone else's dream, but she's not living the dream. So I'm more keen and working in a woman issue and human issue. Yeah. It does burn me and let me go on.
Well, that's right, because we all have our dreams, but then it's like, what is our dream? Is our dream just to be able to survive and have a roof over our head? Or is it to, travel countries and, dream big? It's funny. I know a lot of times people, when they have nothing, all they want are the mere basics of what we take for granted. So to be able to have the opportunity to dream big, like you said, your mother allowed you to dream. How fortunate you were to do that, because if she were the type to say no and hold you down, your life would be so different. Unless you would have broken free of that. Would you say that you were the personality type to just do what you wanted to do anyway?
No, she saw a bright in me. She saw the bright vision of me, because I had dyslexia, and in Egypt at that time they don't know about dyslexia. So I couldn't write and read, and it was difficult because here I am in when I was like 8 years old or 9, where people can be able to read a page, and the teacher, instead of find the problem with me, he used to make me stand up and read. So I sweat, and all the kids laugh at me. And so I decided to be the clown. So I sat in the back and I had my own theater, and I compete for the attention of the kids. So he sent me to the principal, and he beat me up in front of the whole school on my butt. And that developed the hatred of people who's control the system, the principal, the teacher who's supposed to protect me. And so I decided to leave. I decided, so after that, some other, another teacher said, we're doing a play in the school, because I left that store. So the new school, so he took me to the dance, the singing group, and the day of the performance in front of the whole city, while we are singing, something pushed me to the front and I started dancing, and everybody clapped, and I said, yeah, that's it. I found it, because my father wasn't rich. Who wasn't rich, wasn't important. What my dance was important. So it did give me a voice.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, the showbiz bug. That's wonderful. Have you done theater?
In Egypt and in UMass Boston. But after, when I done school in NYU Film School in ED5, I was living with Woody Harrison, who was my roommate.
Oh.
And he told me about an audition, but the audition needed a SAG member. But somehow I get to the audition, and it was a movie about soccer play, and I play soccer. So it was my first film in 1985, playing a professional Egyptian soccer in New York City. So I'm lucky.
That's how exciting is that? Have you considered writing a memoir about everything that you've experienced?
I cannot want to do it because with my dyslexia and my writing ability, it's better for me to do it video than someone will take it out. Because when I talk about a story, I live it. When I write, I worry about spelling. So it tie me up. So it's better for me to talk about it and someone interview me and we'll do the whole book. But it's not for me. It's for the kid in the ghetto in Brazil, the kid in the ghetto of Egypt and Vietnam and everywhere, to see if Said Badreya can be able to get his dream. I enjoy the process of being here and working with Al Pacino, George Clooney, Ice Cube, Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Harry Berry, Jackie Chan, all these people. I enjoyed it at the time. But my story tell people, yes, you have the right to dream and you have the right to succeed. That's my story.
Yes, I love it. And you're doing it and you didn't let anything stop you. And you just had that, and you have such a wonderful joy about you, which is so nice to see.
It's lately, I've been attacked by the Egyptian media and some Egyptian people for working like Iron Man. They told me I was a terrorist. And also, I just 2 years ago, I made a TV show in Turkey,
Mhm.
and the TV show was showing in the opposition to the government TV. So, but I was doing a TV show. I was acting.
Right.
Then they decided to call me traitor and they attack me for that. So I made a movie documentary
Mhm.
about the history
Good.
of my, being connected with the Egyptian revolution and defend my country and everything. So I use cinema
Mhm.
and I manipulate. I was waiting for them to attack me because it's their playbook. And I made a movie, and you see there is a Bolex camera out there.
Right.
Okay, that's my weapon.
Ah, yes.
Cinema, not that camera. Camera and lenses is my weapon.
Right.
I am the storyteller.
Mhm.
From the time of the pyramids, we as Egyptian, we made the movies and the wall of the monument.
Mhm.
We tell a story. What is a movie? A movie is
It's a story.
a hero
Yeah.
who in love with the queen and have army, and he tells a story. So the Egyptian, when they open their monument, was a red carpet because you go from scene to scene. It completes the story. That's a cinema.
I like that. Your documentaries, can people see them anywhere right now?
It's Arabic.
Oh, sorry.
I made documentary called Witness the Rape, which mean witnesses the rape of the Egyptian cinema and selling it to the Gulf state. They didn't preserve all the cinema. They let it rot in, nitrate film before 1950. It decomposed and rusted. They sold it to the Gulf state. And for 20 years, I fought. I made a movie in English called Seven Egyptian Film Classics. Martin Scorsese's in it.
Wow.
Arthur Hiller, the top community of preservation and restoration. Sometimes I get myself in trouble by taking on a billionaire like the Saudi who bought the Egyptian cinema without preserve it. He just dump it to digital and forget about satellite. So my enemy is so big and so powerful, but I have the lenses and the camera.
And that's wonderful. And we need people like that. We need people to challenge the big dogs who want to take over and take away and destroy. We have to, you're defending something so that you're living a hero's journey. So
That's a cowboy in me. That's John Wayne in me. That's the movie I grew up watching, American movie, Bogart. And if you see my picture, and usually with a hat, some hat in the back there, old color. So I love America. I love Egypt. But I'm here for 42 years. My mind become an American mind with the heart of Egyptian. So I have a great combination.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So what has it been like for you during this COVID time with everything shut down and the political climate being kind of crazy? How have you gotten through it?
Well, by doing a lot of live on Facebook and now Clubhouse, tell my story to young people, stood for the people doesn't have voice. So I'm a voice for every woman being sold to an old man from Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or something. So I have enough. I am a fighter.
I love that. And we need to see more men step up for that,
Yeah.
because human trafficking is definitely an issue that people just don't like to talk about. So to put it in film and, put it in people's faces, I think that's really important, because people need to pay attention to just what's around them.
Well, the movie What's About Her is, people think human trafficking for the past 20 years seen movie, it's the slum, but human trafficking in Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive, a rich people bringing servant with them, the big house in Bel Air. It is a human trafficking, because if his 11 years old girl take care in 10 years old rich girl, still human trafficking. Who might say, yeah, she live in a good house and a big thing, but what about her? What about her dream?
Right. It's, yeah. So what made you decide to do a film about that? Because a lot of people would be afraid to even touch that kind of subject. What inspired you to do that?
Well, there is people, I grew up with a mother who lost her husband with 9 kids. Of the 9 is 6 sisters. So woman issue is very powerful. And I have a beautiful American wife with a red head from Sandusky, Ohio, nurse working Cedars-Sinai. So very proud of her being part of the combating of the virus. And I have a daughter who teach and taken her doctorate in UC Irvine. So since I learned from my mother, because my dad died when I was 9, so all my upbringing was by my mother and older sister. And still to today, my wife and my daughter, part of me being growing as a man, a better man. So I don't know, I just get attracted to people have no voice, and I like to be, I'm a fighter. I grew up as a fighter. I fight being poor all my life, and I succeed. So why not?
Right. Good. Help others. That's beautiful. I think that's so beautiful. And I'm so glad you're putting that into a film. Is it something that you would like to get started in production soon, or are you working on
I have no idea, because it's very expensive piece of film, because it's in, it's the creme of the creme financial service. And this guy visit a big mansion, with billionaire. So, he's I believe the driver and the young guy who's the lead, who met the little girl, driving a Rolls Royce, so it's very expensive part. So until I get someone interested to finance it with me, because I usually do production, not on that scale. So I don't want to make a mistake.
Well, wait and see how it goes. Well, it sounds very exciting. And again, especially now in this climate when so much more is coming out about human trafficking, that's being exposed, and just so many more people that are survivors of it too, telling their story. So I think that it's very much needed. So besides making movies, what are you passionate about?
Arabian horses, Egyptian horses. I love Egyptian horses. I go to San Anas Valley, which half an hour north of Santa Barbara. I have friends, and if I retire soon, when my wife finish working, we will have a small ranch there. I love Arabian horses, Egyptian Arabian horses. But I'm a businessman. I do business overseas with horse equipment. I work with a great friend of mine called Monty Roberts. He's a man who listens to horses. He's the original horse whisperer. I have a woman company, brand company called Divas Curves. It's shapewear and post surgical compression garment. And it's the top of the line. It's like the Versace of that. I had it since 2014, and is number one is in that arena, is high end with sizes the 5X. So I go after the plus size woman. I am part of that, and then I have Egyptian caviar. I brought the most lovely caviar from Egypt, from my city. And because I want my kids, after time to leave, to be connected with Egypt. So I connected them with a business from my city, Port Said, and Mediterranean and Suez Canal.
Beautiful. I love that. Egyptian caviar. That just sounds so
It's magnificent.
Wow, that sounds okay. Where could I get some of that from? I mean,
EgyptianCaviar.com.
That's what you were taking.
But send me a message so I can take care of you.
Oh, well, it sounds, I love that you are so smart and you have different places to put your energies into that support the overall creative part of you. That's
well, I was lucky because Anthony Perkin, I was very young, and he took the time to talk to me and to say, I learned to have business while in the movie industry, so I never desperate. I walk in the Warner Brothers office, and I have Versace on. I have the best looking clothes. I don't need the job if you don't see me in it. I am never desperate. I don't smell desperate. I go on red carpet to, shoulder to shoulder with the star, and I have a clothes look like, because I grew up poor,
right.
And now I have the money. So because my mother had to survive by being sewing for the neighborhood. So she used to get magazine and everything. And her friends was rich, so they used to give her hand-down clothes, and I wear it. And it was old, but it was brand. So I grew up on a brand name, and I didn't mind someone fortunate to give me his clothes. So now I pay back, and I send the clothes I get when I get skinny or big. I send the clothes back to Egypt. So it's like, karma is beautiful.
Nice.
You go back. If you do good, it will come back to you.
Keep that cycle going. That's wonderful. Every single picture I've seen of you, you're so stylish. You have a flair with clothes, and that's wonderful to see a man dressed like that. I appreciate that.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of it. And there is a guy I have problem with called John Vivertos. Every time I go to his clothes line, he take my money because he's so stylish. And I bring my hat from Italy, from a company called Barcelona, is handmade. So, and I like art, as you see.
Right, it's beautiful.
I like to bring art. When I went to Morocco to do a movie, I brought art and I brought the carpet. When I go to India, I brought art. So I like good thing in life.
Beautiful.
I enjoyed it.
Well, good. You deserve it.
Yeah, I worked hard for it.
Yes, exactly. So you plan on traveling overseas again soon, anytime soon?
I might go England for a job, but we have not done the complete thing yet. So if it is, will be in England. And but I'm, you know, every opportunity I get vacation, I go see the Arabian horses, which you should see. Arabian horses is the most magnificent horses. The face, the neck, the style. You should. You will feel in love with it.
Oh, now that would make a wonderful documentary or movie, just to have the horses as part of it.
Yeah, it's like Arabian horses is the ambassador for Arab people, because Arabian horses just used to live in people tent, grown up in the desert. So, if Arabian horses, everybody love it, they should love us too.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, I think everyone should just love each other and just be respectful of each other and not so.
That's my motto. It's all about love.
We'll be in that flow of creativity and make movies and create art. And
that's what I explained to the Arab people in my documentary, that when they say action, you work as a cinematic. You don't worry about if this guy Republican or Democrat or doesn't believe in God or any. It's all about cinema. Cinema bring us all together. And for me, to be attacked and call me traitor for working with someone you disagree with doesn't make me an enemy. And here what I learned from America, really. I learned from America because I was the other. I came here as a migrant. And America opened their heart to it. And they accept me with who I am. And when we disagree, if his disagreement doesn't make you an enemy, it make you. I learned from Sadat, president of Egypt, one of the best peacemen. He believed in you don't make a peace with your friends, you make peace with your enemy. And I learned from Mandela. You have to forgive, to move on, to heal. Here is a man spent all his life in a jail, and when he become a president, he make a court and he say, tell what you done wrong, and I guarantee to forgive you. So this is my motto in life. Great man like this, people forget how the American community, cinematic community, have so much influence on the people overseas. I felt in love with America from the movie. So American cinema people or American filmmaker should understand they make a difference. They allowed people overseas to dream, the impossible dream. And I am here because of that.
Well, do you think it's changing now for young filmmakers in Egypt or other countries now to become their own, to pursue their own dreams there?
No, it's more government control subject. So as Egyptian cinema in the 50s was like American cinema. Egyptian cinema was so magnificent, and the movie star looked like American movie star. Egypt was open. It was Jewish people work in the industry, Italian and Greek work in Egypt. Egypt in 1932, Cairo was the best looking city in the world. So Egypt was open to all over for everyone to come. And now they close up mind and art and all its propaganda projects hail to the chief.
Well, I'm glad that you're able to create the movies you want to here. You know, and I hope
Which I pay for it, and I do my voice, and thank to the American industry for teaching me how to make great film and with all the element. I love the cinema. I love how to put voices and storyline and movie, a scene. You start the scene with all the element, the music, the sound effect, the dialogue, the movement of the camera, the DB, the transition, all that.
excitement.
It's what I live for.
Yeah, that's right. You're creating. You are creating, and that is magical. That's very exciting. Okay, I have to ask, because I've never met anyone from Egypt before. What was it like having the pyramids so close, so close by? I've heard so many stories about how magical they are, or is it just something like just another wonder of the world?
It's you wouldn't get it until you be there, because it's nothing like the feeling of seeing the pyramids or being inside it. But my favorite place is Luxor. Luxor is south of Egypt, where Karnak city, there where all the priests used to have their vacation, called the Karnak city, and there is Hatshepsut, which an Egyptian queen for 35 years, she never had a war, and she brought Egypt to the best. She preserved and restored all the thing, and she have Hatshepsut monument in Egypt, just magnificent. If you write Hatshepsut, you will know who I'm talking about. A magnificent woman, and it's my favorite queen, because her son, her brother, her husband had a son from a different woman, and called Tuhosnut the third. After she died, he destroyed everything she done.
Oh no.
But somehow the priest hiding some stuff. And today we have something in Brooklyn Museum, and in New York Museum, and in Egypt to have the big monument. So her story came after he destroyed everything. You can't keep a great woman down.
Exactly. I love that. And that's a wonderful thing. I love that. So how do you, I haven't really seen any movies about the stories of ancient Egypt, or I know they're like the Mummy or the different horror stories, but to really capture the beauty and the essence of what it was like, you think that would...
Elizabeth Taylor did a movie, but they never succeed. Egyptian movie about the history of Egypt never succeed unless you do the Mummy and something scary. But maybe will come. But you know, Egyptian storyline, they never did well in the post office unless it's a horror.
Well, not yet, because there's incredible stories that I think need to be told, and it would be wonderful to see it in the actual backdrop of Egypt. You know, to see it.
I hope so. With the technology now, we can bring this magic back.
right? So that would be wonderful to see that.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited that you are in this flow of creation and you are doing. And anytime I meet someone who just lives his passion, that I feel that just lifts the whole collective. And I feel it's so inspiring for others to start living their dream. And you are doing it and you do it with such joy. It's like no matter what happens, you just keep going.
You
And
know why? Because you have the key to let me open up. The way you ask the question and the way I can see your smile and I forget that I'm talking to someone I first time to meet. So you have a special, you're a shaman where you open doors and doors and doors. And nice to meet you for that and allowed me to open and talk from my heart because my English is bad, my Arabic is bad, but when you take the time to listen with your heart, you can understand me.
yes, and people need to do that. They need to listen from their heart. Everyone
Yeah.
does. And can you imagine what a beautiful world we'd have if everyone just listened from their heart and
Oh,
lived?
well, we're not giving up on it because our kids uh, said no during the injustice. So I am optimistic. I have to be optimistic because without younger generation and the knowledge they get from us, we doomed. So I think we're good. I think we're good. Look back to the 14th Amendment, how Black American use it and how women use the 14th Amendment to get her right to vote. So everybody struggled to get what nothing is given.
Right.
And we have to fight like a mad dog for
Yes.
our right.
Yes.
And we're here to stay because we are on the right side of history for freedom and justice.
Yes, I love it. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I want to make a movie with you.
Done.
Yes, we're going to
Done.
make a movie together because you have such a wonderful energy and I love it and I want to do something with you. Are you going to be going to the AOF Megafest in July?
If there is a discussion with some company about me doing a movie at that time. If not, I'll be there. You be there?
I will be there. Yes.
So
Yes, I will be
if
there.
I'm there, we should do another TV
Yes, yes, we will definitely.
interview with live TV or something.
I can't wait to do that again. I mean,
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
it live. And
yeah.
so, but no, definitely. And I'm so excited with just you because I'm already thinking of ideas of how I want to cast you and write for you because I just want to see you up more on the screen and just telling
Well,
stories.
there is people talking to me, and it's like I don't do well in what do you call the self-taping, or like I work with top director like Michael Mann, Oliver Stone, and all these people I met in the office. So I took their energy and I smell the room and I can do very well. I feel like Zoom really doesn't give justice. I don't have an Asian anymore. I don't want to work unless something will burn me to say, yeah, I want. So there is a project and I'm going to build my beard to be white and big. And I want to play an Egyptian shaman.
Oh, I love that.
He born under the pyramids and he have connected with his ancestor somehow. And he brings that to the storyline. So, I'm gonna work on that instead of doing just cold reading. Or I love improv, but I don't like self-taping.
Right. And
I like to look at your eyes and the thing. Self-taping brings the epidemic. You work with yourself, and I don't get.
Right. Right.
You know, I have to be in the room and feel you and feel your energy to do a good scene. I have to look, you know, inside your eyes, and I have to listen. I don't work with actor who know his line exactly 100%. My best takes is the first take, actually the rehearsal take and the first and second, because I don't want to be mechanical.
Right.
I'm good at the first take because it's like it's
so real.
fire.
Right.
When you put a match, fire.
Well, I love that you're so interested in shamanism, especially Egyptian shamanism, because that is so powerful when you really tune into what it is. And I think when people can start really knowing their ancestry and that lineage and be able to love it and accept it and even forgive it, it can really clear the pathway for the present and for tomorrow.
But people get scared, like Shelley MacLaine's always hate her for being spiritual. You know, as they say, she's out there, but I feel my ancestor in me. I feel their power and their calmness and their connection to the world, because they was not there for themselves. They were there and for us to build on their glory. And I can connect it back to them because they left everything for us to read and to learn. And they communicate with us on the wall of the monument. Right. So it's easy connection. If we don't have all that, maybe we lost it, but we have it. So we connect to it, and it's powerful, and it's magic.
It is. And I'm so glad that you're, embracing that, because I think spirituality, I mean, you think about creativity and creation, that's spirit, and it's that energy, it's not mechanical, it's in that state of allowance. And I think, even like with acting, when you're in that first take, you're so open.
You're in the zone.
Yes, and I just
you forget about everything around you, and that's the good take. Yes, because you don't think.
And I would just love to see more people just be in that flow, and then we don't get caught up in the drama or the politics or the hatred, but to just be in that heart center space, and just be who you're meant to be. And I just think that would be so beautiful. And I think we have, as artists, we have a chance to really show that and hopefully inspire other people to want to be that.
Well, you're doing it. You're doing it with your program every week. And you bring in, I saw the program with the man have difficulty and play music. Man, that's powerful.
Right.
And you bring in what you believe in, and you're gonna continue to do that, and it's touching people's life and make your life more growing. And you're growing as a woman, and the more you talk with happiness, the more your beauty come in your eyes. And that's cinema. That's you can't define that. The camera will see that, the lens, the 85 millimeter lens will capture that, and lens doesn't lie.
Right. I'm going to write something for you. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to write something for you. I don't know how soon, but we're going to stay in touch, and I'm definitely going to write something for you, Saeed.
But they have to be with you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But no, I'm so honored to have you on my show. Thank you so very much. I really hope to see you in July in Las Vegas. Hopefully that works out.
Where are you based?
I'm in Studio City.
Okay, so you're gonna drive or you fly?
Oh, I'm driving.
Okay.
It
Well,
don't take as much time to fly, so I may as well drive. If
yeah,
you know,
just as a drive back on Sunday is horrible.
I'm gonna come back Monday.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Now you smart girl. No, I will try to make it. Actually, I have some tuxedo. I never wear it. And now it's like maybe I should go. So if I don't get the job, I will come.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that we have equipment to do something,
That'd be
me
wonderful.
and you.
I'll talk with Dell about that.
Yeah.
Will Dandelion season be screening there? Do you know?
Mm,
Maybe not. Probably not. Okay. All
there
right.
is a war.
Everywhere. We need to go back to heart space.
I tried to be the peace man because I was hired by Dell, and I did it for Dell. So I hope it work out because I feel I did a couple of great scenes. I felt them because I did it with love for Dell. He asked me and I said, no problem.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And
You are a beautiful woman. And thank you for taking the time and open your heart and allowed me to be relaxed, open my heart. And I see you soon.
Very soon. Thank you so much.
I have to teach you to see salam.
Salam.
Salam mean peace.
Peace.
Which when you meet an Arab guy or Arab woman, you see salam, mean peace. And when you leave them, you see salam. So salam.
Salam.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.